Welcome, friends. This is Janine Pettit, co-host of the Girl Camper podcast with my sidekick,
Lesa McDermott.
Girl Camper extraordinaire and vice president of Girl Camper and the woman who dots the I's and crosses the T's. And this is our very first together Girl Camper holiday gift guide.
Stay tuned.
Welcome back, everybody. This is kind of really fun for us to do. Lesa and I talk shop and talk gear all the time, but it's always so interesting to me because there is no wrong way to camp like a girl. And her list is always wildly different than mine. And she does not know what's on my list right now, and I don't know what's on hers. So it'll be a little bit of surprise party, too. So, Lesa, I'm going to throw it to you and let you jump in with your first item.
Okay. Well, I have to kind of give some background that my best friend Melanie and I started doing a few years ago when it came to holidays. And it's a tradition that I really like because it helps kind of steer what we get each other for gifts. And it is, we only give each other 4 things and they each have to have a purpose. And it goes like this. It has to be something that you need, something that you want, something that you'll read, something to wear. And I just think that's really cute. Yeah.
That's a great idea. And I would like to have a best friend who would buy me 4 presents. That's pretty good. Actually, my friend Patricia always sends me like a winter house. We collect junk all year long for each other at thrift stores and stuff, and we send them all in December.
Yes. I think Melanie was the same way with me. I would get this massive amount and I kind of always felt like the crappy friend because I'd get her like 1 or 2 things. And we get to this stage in our life and it's like, we really don't need any more. Yeah, happy camper mugs or another blanket or things like that.
Camper birdhouse.
Yeah, a camper birdhouse. Or I do like camper birdhouses.
If you have a place to put them.
Right. And the one thing I really do love in what we do is the something to read. Because she and I have vastly different tastes when it comes to reading. And yet she's got me to read some things that I never would have read before. But my something to read on the list is actually a book that you sent me. And that is the ThruHIkers Guide to Life on the Trail.
I'm in love with those 2.
I am too. These 2 people, this Renee and Tim, are such a cute couple. And I loved this book, and you sent it to me. You've actually kind of cost me a lot of money here.
My job.
So when we did the podcast with Retha, the roaming nanny, who hiked the Appalachian Trail, and as I was editing it, it really got me back on my mindset of I want to do a through hike, and I've always wanted to do a through hike out here in the Black Hills where I live. We have a really neat 125-mile trail, the Centennial Trail, but I just never could pull the trigger. So as I was editing it, I immediately texted another girl camper, Stacy Ann Ekman, and said, do you want to do this with me? Because Stacy is an avid hiker. And she basically said the same thing back to me that, yes, I want to do that trail. I've always wanted to do it, but I've always come up with an excuse. So now we're holding each other accountable.
That's
that
great.
We have to do it. And we've got it. It's actually a girl camper event. It's going to be starting June 15th for 10 days. If anybody is interested in joining us, please check it out on the Girl Camper website. And you don't have to do the whole trip.
You at the finish line.
Yes, at the finish line. You could maybe do some sections with us. We're pretty flexible on that, but yeah, check it out. But I mentioned it to you that I was wanting to do this, and you immediately sent me this book.
Yes, because I follow them on Instagram, and Renee just she just did the fastest hike across Oregon. She broke that record. And I was rooting for her. I was getting on every day, and you have to carry everything. You can't supply along the way. And so I was so fascinated by her food and in the figuring out how many calories she needed to make that hike and how that bag was dwindling in weight each day, but her miles were increasing. I was fascinated by the whole thing, and I thought Lesa needs this.
Oh, yeah. And, I got to admit, when I first opened the book, I thought, oh, really, this is pretty basic because it started off
Mhm.
like, this is a out and back hike. This is a loop hike. I'm like, really? But I just started reading it and I couldn't put it down. And I was so sad when it got to the last chapter.
Aw.
And I'm an avid hiker, but I learned some great things in here. The photography is great. It's just an easy read. So that is my something to read for anybody out there that loves the outdoors, is likes to hike, wants to learn some new stuff. I really encourage you to check this book out.
Well, I'm so glad you like it. I might just order it for myself, and we'll just go tit for tat here because you inspired me to buy something this year. First of all, Lesa inspires me to just take it up a notch, to push myself further than I think I could do. I've done my fourth river trip. Last summer, we did the Green River in Utah. It was so much fun. One of our more relaxing because you threw me into the deep end with the Grand Canyon trip for my very first river trip, 225 miles, class 5 rapids. The boat goes deep, 39-foot drop and like 10,000 feet. And then 20,000 gallons of water fall on your face. So, like, we rolled down the Green River. It was virtually nothing comparatively, but this is what you talked me into, and it is the Marchway portable cot. So, the year before, I believe we just slept on the ground. No, we slept on the ground to the Grand Canyon. It was fine, but honestly, I kept thinking, I know we did see a few scorpions. What's gonna climb over my sleeping bag? The following year on the Salmon River in Idaho, they provided cots that were the regular height. This one is like 6 inches off the ground. This is all the bag is, like a little bigger than my head here. And it weighs, I don't know, 1.8 pounds or something like this. The thing about this, though, it's very easy to put together. And the way that it is designed, there's no bars in your back. So over the weekend, we had a girl camper bingo game at one of our campouts. We raised money for Hold You. Several people were getting rid of their portable cots because they got them and they're like, yeah, this is not easy to carry. This had a bar in my back. This, like for one reason or another, they didn't work. I really love this. And I love gear that kind of does a double duty. So I slept on this. It was wonderful. Now, if you have a dog, this is a great thing to set up at the campground. Dog beds for the campground can be kind of pricey. This is $69. It was worth every single penny. But also, Grandma opens this up at home and puts a nice quilt on it, and it's a little nap station at Grandma's house. So even though I bought it for camping, I'm using it for other things. And Lesa, thank you for this recommendation because this goes into gear I will keep for years and years and years, and I can't wait to use it this coming summer.
Those cots are nice. I mean, they're not high off the ground, but they're just enough to help you, when we get to our certain ages. We just need that little extra lift to be able to stand up. And
Well,
yeah,
almost everyone at that trip had this particular cot, and everybody raved about it. There's no bar in the middle, and it goes together so easily, and it fits back in the bag. So a lot of times you get these things, you get them out, you put them together. Getting it back in the bag's another story. This one is easy breezy. I give it 5 stars.
absolutely true. Absolutely true. So I think before we continue on, we should take a quick break to thank one of today's show sponsors, Litbert Manufacturers and Kurt Manufacturers.
You know that saying, work smarter, not harder? Yeah, let's do that. Introducing the Quick Pin Coupler from Kurt. Quick Pin's innovative design allows for fast, hassle-free trailer coupling with just one pin, making it easier to use than traditional couplers. That's right, that means no more fighting with jammed levers or problematic hinging components that drive you crazy. It's safe and couples securely with an included pin and clip. Just couple it, pin it, and you're done. Quick Pin is made from high-strength steel and has tested weight ratings to ensure your safety. It's available to fit all standard trailer ball diameters, as well as a variety of trailer tongue beam sizes, including A-frame trailers. So tow smarter, not harder, and get on the road today with a quick pin coupler from Kurt.
Thank you, Lippert Kurt Manufacturing. We sure appreciate your support on the Grow Camper podcast. We couldn't be doing these episodes without you. And you guys
And
make
we
awesome
mean that
products.
with our whole hearts. Thank you, Lippert.
We do. Okay, so next on my list kind of continues on from stuff that I learned from Tim and Renee, the ThruHIkers, that got me all fascinated was getting a food dehydrator.
This is where I
Yeah.
cost you the money.
Exactly. Yeah, because I couldn't get just any. I think we probably all at one point had those cheap white round plastic food dehydrators.
We're in
at
Goodwill
one-
all the time.
all the time, right? And they're fine, they're okay, but these guys really talked about how they make their food, and then my hiking partner Stacy Ann also I had said, oh, I'm just gonna bring some of the pre-done dehydrated meals you can buy at any sporting goods store. And she's like, oh, they're so full of carbs and they're so full of salt and all different things that aren't necessarily good for you. And that really, got me thinking of what can I do to, one, save money, because those meals are expensive.
For
They're
$7 or $8 a piece.
easily or $12 or more.
Really?
So, you've got that. And my other friend, Jackie, she and her husband make dehydrated jerky every year that is just so good. And, jerky's expensive. So I did my
Yeah.
research and I went with what is called a COSORI food dehydrator. It has 6 trays in it. And this thing is just it's a beast. And I could have gotten smaller probably. They have a 4-tray one and they actually have a big tray one of 12 trays. But 6 seems like a really nice number for me to be doing different things. And I have had so much fun doing it. I've made already a bunch of jerky. This is just applesauce. It's sugar-free applesauce. And you just put it in that dehydrator. And what I love
You
about
just eat it like jerky.
a
yeah.
fruit, it's a fruit roll-up.
Roll-up. It's a fruit roll-up.
It's a fruit roll-up.
How long does that last for?
They last, depending on how you store them. Now, in my house, it's not going to last very long because I keep eating them.
That's my problem.
But I think these things can last up to a year if you dehydrate them right and you keep them properly stored. But I've done tomatoes, little cherry tomatoes.
Whoa, very pretty.
Talk about a healthy snack. I've done banana chips.
Ooh.
All these little healthy things. And then this one was kind of fun because we all know pomegranates are super expensive. Little pomegranate.
Oh, the
Cold.
seed. And don't you hate when you buy one of those and then you feel so obligated to eat the whole thing because it was $5?
Exactly.
It's not the total where it's 15 because everything by you is so high.
Oh, Lord. I know. Yeah. In
Yeah.
pomegranates, you can do not only the seeds, you can do the skin, and then you mash that up into a powder, and you can make like a face poultice for a facial.
Wow.
I know. So I've had
Okay.
so
So
much
you're-
fun with COSORI food
You're
dehydrator.
experimenting. You're experimenting.
I am experimenting. This is all within the first week. It's got a variable temperature control. You can set a timer on it. It's just it's just a really nice
So-
machine.
My 2 questions is, how much does that machine cost and how many hours is something in that thing? Have you seen a spike in your electric bill?
No, not at all.
Hmm.
Surprisingly, I've been following their recipe book, and it'll say, do the fruit roll up for maybe 8 hours, the
Mhm.
applesauce, and yet it's really only taking maybe 4 or 5. The beef
Mhm.
jerky took way less. It's very quiet. We don't even hear it, and it's very fuel efficient. And surprisingly, it wasn't that expensive for a very good food dehydrator. It was $159 on
That's
Amazon.
reasonable.
Yeah, very reasonable. Very reasonable.
Well,
And it came with a lot of
I thought you were going to say several hundred.
yeah.
I glanced over that book. I am going to have to buy it now. But I fell down the rabbit hole of freeze-dried food because they bought a freeze dryer And I was like, I need to buy one of these with 10 friends so we can share it. But I think I should start small and get what you have.
I just love it. I think I'm having so much fun. I can't wait to start diving in and actually making some of the trail meals for
Mhm.
our through hike for next year. You know,
Well, you
'cause
know what would be cool is if just for like 4 days at home, you ate nothing but the food that you're going to eat on the trail and see how your energy level is and how your body responds to it.
exactly. They have a recipe in the book that it's like a peanut butter noodle, peanut butter pasta recipe
Yeah.
that I'm sorry.
Powdered peanut butter is like the thing now.
Yes. And I love peanut butter and I love
Oh,
pasta.
you do.
It's
Mhm.
gonna be I can't wait to try to make that. And, my husband and I are actually going out to Grand Targhee Ski Resort. Not sure I'm saying that right, here in a few weeks. And we're gonna be
Mhm.
camping out there at the resort. And I plan to dehydrate the meals and test them out while we're out there.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Now I've got one that you might need when you're on this trip. You're going in June, but it's June in South Dakota.
Mhm.
So you could wake up to temps in the 30s or 40s. Maybe. You think? I think you could, right?
Absolutely could, yep.
Okay, so I've got these fantastic grand nieces and nephews out in Colorado. Love their parents so much. And these are outdoor kids. You don't get raised in Colorado watching TV, I could tell you that. These kids ski, they snowshoe. My sweet niece Katrina has this policy with her son that he has to go outside every single day. It doesn't matter what the weather or temperature is. And I love that. And she's a teacher, and her thinking is that's how life works. Every day is not a perfect day. So eat unless it's, pelting rain sideways, they go out. It might not be for hours, but this kid has gear for rain, boots, snow. They do everything with him. So Antonine always has to get something for those kids outdoors. And last year, and I don't have it with me because I mailed them to the kids, I got them these rechargeable hand warmers, and
Oh, yeah.
they were a huge hit. So it was a winner chicken dinner last Christmas for Aunt Janine. This year, not sure yet, but it could be heated socks if I find them in their sizes. But anyway, these things are great. They plug into USB. They will stay warm for up to 16 hours. So if you were on the ski slopes for the day and you had these in your pockets, you can stick your hands in there and just hold on to them for a few minutes. If you stick them in the pockets of your pants, they're going to keep your upper thighs and core warm. It is adjustable settings. So you can put it on high, you can turn it down low. And when you just get that core body temperature raised again, these are a great thing to have. So when these first came out, like 5 or 6 years ago, I first saw them. They were expensive. They were $50 or $60. The ones I sent my nieces and nephews last year were, I think, $30. They're down to $16.99 now for the pair. So, that they charge in 1 to 2 hours. So when the battery goes low on them and you need to recharge them, you can literally go to the
The
where
lodge.
you get lunch. Thank you, the lodge. Plug them in somewhere for an hour or two and get a couple more hours out of them. So 16.99, that's a stocking stuffer. So if you have someone in your life, if you're doing that New Year's Day hike, if you've got to do a grab bag or bring a white elephant gift, this one's a winner.
Those are great, and those are really nice to have, yeah, in your ski pockets and stuff. And I think they're probably a lot more environmentally friendly than the old, the packets, the
Oh,
hand
yeah,
warmer
the
power whip.
charcoal ones that you get activated, and
Yeah.
I have used those in an emergency and been very happy to have them. I remember camping in Texas thinking, "It's Texas in April, how cold could it be?"
Mhm.
Shivering in my camper because I couldn't get my heat to go on because of a problem with my battery, and I broke into my drawer, and I had, like, 6 of those, and I got them all going, and I put them on my legs and in my arms and on my stomach, and I only had a light jacket and a light and they saved me. So in a pinch, those are great to have, and I wouldn't give up having a couple of those in your, toolkit. but the rechargeable ones are really fun. And they're ergonomical. They're like shaped like a little bean with an indentation, and you can hold on to them. They feel comfortable in your hand.
Nice, because there's nothing worse. I can speak from personal experience, nothing worse than when your fingers get cold out on that ski slope and you
You
just
can't
can't
warm them up.
you just can't
No,
warm 'em.
no, you gotta take your glove off and hang on to that and then get them back in there.
Yeah, exactly,
Or
exactly.
you would know.
So I have another, it's kind of along the same line, but mine would be a stocking stuffer too. And this is it's a charging pad. This is a 3-in-1 charging station, and
Ooh,
it's pretty much for Apple people. But
that's also got me
yes,
too.
and it's what's really cool is you've got a spot here. It's all for the MagSafe stuff. Here's for where your phone would go. If you have an Apple Watch, it goes right here.
Mhm.
If you have the earbuds, they go right here. And
Oh,
then
wow.
they fold. It folds into these little different configurations. So they're great. It's great for travel because it's a
I was gonna say, I need that for the hotel room because you got your earphones on the desk across from the end of the bed. Your phone is plugged in the bathroom. Your phone is on the nightstand next to you. That's fantastic. Leave
Mhm.
it to you to find that, the queen of Apple gadgets. Lisa bought me an Apple Watch for my birthday last year. She and I were walking on the boardwalk and I wiped out. I mean, fell like, didn't even see it coming. Just next thing you know, I'm on the ground and I'm
Mhm.
still laying on the ground when my phone starts ringing. And it's one of my kids who got a notice that said, "We have detected a hard fall and emergency services have been called. And this is the location." And so I thought, geez, I never got three kids to call me back so fast in my so that was kind of a cool thing, you know?
It
We're all
was.
sort of addicted to the Apple thing.
Well, and the other thing that happened along with that is it was going, if we hadn't have shut it off in time, it was going to alert emergency services to where exactly you were, and because it could pinpoint you through the
Yeah.
GPS and send emergency help right there. So that is a cool feature of Apple products.
Lucky I had an EMT with me.
Well, and it happened to be like fireman week when we were there at the boardwalk
I was
because
surrounded by people in like 3 seconds, and it was a nasty, nasty bruise. And I didn't hurt any of my other limbs, but man, just and I was wandering around, like looking at all the lights, and boom. So I actually even worry about. Well, I worry about everything now. Like I'm always checking my seat. Like, am I sure-footed? But those kind of things are great to have. How much does that cost? Because that might be something to me from me with love. I might have to get that.
super, super inexpensive. They're $29.99 is the regular price
Really?
again on Amazon. But these could be some really great Black Friday deals, or when they do
Mhm.
the Cyber Monday, there,
Mhm.
there's usually always, you can usually find them a little bit less than that. But yeah, they're super handy. I love this little
Yeah.
thing.
That looks like a winner because
Mhm.
when you travel, you have so many different chargers. So I really like that. Okay, I got one, and I wish I had it here with me. I was just telling Lisa before we started the show. This morning, I went down to my kitchen junk drawer where I keep this Leatherman's tool. So if you don't know what a Leatherman's tool is, it was literally a tool that cattle ranchers would keep on their hips in a little leather pouch, and they used it for fixing fences. It had things on it that could cut wire. They could pull a nail out of a cattle hoof. I mean, it did all kinds of things. It's like the one I have is 15 in one, but these things can go up to $150 and be like 30 tools in one.
Yeah.
I have one in the door of my car, which actually I just used yesterday because my alarm went off in the car that one of my tires was low. And when I got out to put air in it, I couldn't get the little cap off, but I had my Leatherman tool. So I was able to twist it off with the little pliers that are on there. But the one I have and the one I'm recommending here, I'll throw up a picture of it, is very inexpensive. I think it's 19.99. It has got 26,000 let me see if I'm reading the right one here. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, 22,000 4.5-star reviews, and this one is $35. They are $15.99. They're in the metal. It's the quality of the metal that is the price difference. If you're just going to use it for, I don't know, pulling staples out of a box or some little thing at the campground, that'll probably do ya. If you're going to take it out on the trail and you might need it for something serious, you want to go up. The quality of the metal is what makes these things, but they have screwdrivers in them, flat screwdrivers, Phillips head, corkscrews, pliers, a mini saw, a little tiny scissors. I can't even tell you how many times, a little tweezers in it. How many times that thing has come in so handy for me. So I have one in my kitchen drawer. As soon as we get off the show and I go downstairs, it's going to hit me right in the face because I looked for it for 15 minutes before I laid it out this morning in a safe place. So anyway, I'll find it. But this is a really nice stocking stuffer too. Even if you're getting a girlfriend something inexpensive, you could get like the $15.99 version of this. And believe me, you are going to use it several times a year. And it's just a really great thing to have.
They are. And, they come with lifetime warranties. We actually found one once in the middle of the gravel road, and the tip of the blade, one of the blades had been broken off.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it was, sitting in the middle of the gravel road. Sent it in, and Leatherman sent us a brand new one.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, we did a thing in the magazine a couple of years ago about collecting pocket knives, and then I fell down the rabbit hole of the Leatherman, and I love the history behind it, So they're so well made, and back in the day, like 100 years ago, you bought a tool like that, you owned it for life. As you were saying, you found one in the road. I'm like, somebody's heart is broken. Like they had that, and you should almost have your name engraved on them. So, okay, your turn. You're up.
Well, I think we need to take another quick sponsor break to thank our next sponsor of the Go Camper podcast today, which is Progressive Insurance.
Exploring without travel trailer insurance could have your adventures going in the wrong direction. Keep yours moving forward with Progressive. Get a quote today from a leader in RV insurance.
Okay, we're back, everybody. Progressive Insurance. We have so much fun with them.
We do.
They get us.
Yeah, they do.
They really get us, and we get them. So, and I actually, way before Progressive was the sponsor of the Girl Camper world, I've had them for years as my insurance, and family have had to use them because things happen. So we're so grateful to be working with them. Is it my turn or yours? No, it's yours. The Leatherman.
So I'm going to now keep you along with my 4 gift ideas. This next one is something to wear. And again, it kind of plays along with the whole, what did I learn from that book about hiking? And it's to have really good quality clothing, and to have clothing that is moisture wicking, kind of, I don't want to say odor repellent, but, kind of, if you're going to wear it for multiple days, you don't have to wash it every day. And just
Microbial.
thank you, that one. And as I was kind of going down the rabbit hole of looking at different things, whether it's wool shirts or wool sweaters, I came across this company called Alpaca Apparel, and I absolutely fell in love with them. Their big thing is to but get people to think about, where does our clothing come from and who makes it? And I love that. So all of their stuff is made from alpaca, and it's made in Peru. And alpaca, I got this alpaca hoodie from them. It is softer, I think, than cashmere. It is so warm. And what's great about whether it's wool or alpaca is that these are multi-season. In the summer, they're going to be regulating, heat regulating, so that you're not going to be burning up in these. In the winter, they're super warm. Alpaca is actually the second warmest, I don't know if you call it fur, but I don't know what else to call it. Fiber. Thank you. The second warmest fiber after, take a guess.
I would just say regular wool.
Polar bear. Only polar bears have warmer fiber.
Well, I don't know who wants to be in charge of retrieving the fiber from the polar bear. Alpacas let you come up to them. Isn't alpaca a llama?
They might be in the llama family, but they're two different animals. The
Okay,
alpaca
all
and
right.
but I'm trying to find it in here. It's literally signed by the person that made it. Now, of course, I can't find it.
Right, I see a little wool. I see a little leather tag on the hen.
Yeah, that is not it. That just says pack. Here it
Okay.
is. My thing was handmade by Alicia H. in Peru.
Oh, in
So
Peru.
in Peru,
Well,
yeah.
I can vouch for that. As my daughter went to Peru a few years ago and brought me a hat, scarf, and gloves, and I keep them in my camper, and they are so warm.
These are. I
And
love this
soft,
thing.
soft, incredibly soft.
Super soft, way super soft. I
Oh,
mean, I just love what the company is trying to do, which led me to go down the whole rabbit hole of about wool. That wool is such a predominant fiber, and but where, yeah, I know a few
It
people
was
wish
the
to,
original high performance fabric. I mean, in
yeah,
the upcoming issue of Girl Camper magazine, we did an article to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Pendleton clothing. And I'm a Pendleton nut. I have a huge collection of Pendleton coats and shirts and all of that. But reading the history of Pendleton, lumberjacks to housewives wore that, and in all Civil War uniforms, which they wore all
mhm,
summer long. You sweated in it, but then it whipped it away from your body and actually be helped cool your body. So wool was the original high performance fabric. I mean, it's heavy though, but not that alpaca. I've seen that. What does that hoodie cost?
So they're not cheap. They are this particular hoodie is $139, but
Well,
you are supporting a very small company, an
within
American company, and that is providing really awesome jobs to people in Peru. And I love the story behind them.
But it is also a lifetime purchase. You
Yes,
are gonna own that 20 years from now and still be using it.
exactly,
And when you
exactly.
pick yours, really pick it well,
Yes,
because
yep.
it's your sweater. My oldest daughter has a wool Pendleton skirt that my grandfather bought for Aunt Betty, my aunt, y'all know my Aunt Betty, when she was a senior in high school, I don't know, like 1957 or 8. And my daughter still wears that skirt. It is
Yeah.
60 years old, 65 years old. It's classic. It doesn't have a mark in it. She styles it with combat boots, not how it would have been worn, in a leather jacket, but it's still so classic and beautiful. So you get what you pay for.
You really do. Yep, you really
One
do.
of the things that I thought was so interesting when I was doing that article is when the Pendleton women's jacket came out in 1945, that jacket was $14.95. That caused me to go online and look up how much was $14.95 in today's dollars, and it was almost $200.
Wow.
So you think in women saved their money, they baked pies, they sold it. When you own something like that, you owned it for decades, and it was an investment piece.
Hmm.
Okay, I think that's so cool. All right, I want to talk to you about a gift that I got this year. So, my friend Patricia, who is camp doctor in the magazine, she writes, and she is in real life an emergency room doctor out there saving lives. She sends me such fun stuff. So she sent me a headband this year with Bluetooth speakers in it. And let me tell you, these things have changed my life. I do tend to fall asleep listening to things, and then AirPods hurt your ears over time. So, like, I just came home from Morocco, and that was one very long flight. So, this thing on an airplane instead of the AirPods in your ears, but when you're out walking, a lot of times before I had this, I'd have my AirPods in, but then I do need a hat or something on, which seems to push the AirPods even more into your ears. So this is a headband. It's Bluetooth. There's all kinds of them online. I'm going to show you the link for the one I got. They're very, very reasonably priced now, $20. When I looked these up yesterday, getting ready for the show, I couldn't believe all the holiday sales going on for these things. I think these are a really great stocking stuffer, or like if you have presents that you have to give to multiple people and, you just have special people in your life, you want to give them a little something. This is a great gift. I have loved mine have a little button right up here. So I can lower it, turn it off, pull, turn it up. You're poking yourself in the head. But anyway, they're warm. The sound is reasonable in your ears. They're easy to adjust. And the charge lasts like 14 hours. And when you plug it back in to recharge it, it comes to a full charge after like 2 hours. So if you are on a very long flight and they start to beep on you, like they're going low, you could just take them off and plug them in. And you can also pair them with your whatever device you're using, your iPad or whatever you're using on a plane or we're in your camper or wherever you are, and be warm and have sound. So I really enjoyed those.
Fun, yeah. Having your
Yes, they are.
headphones, earbuds, whatever are super, super awesome gifts. Yeah. So my next one that I have is we love games. You and I love playing games. So I found these on Temu. And these are a Jenga style block. So, but they're not actual Jenga. I think they're called building blocks or stacking blocks. But what makes these different is that they have questions on them.
Ooh.
They're a little small to read.
You need your readers.
You do need your readers. But I think you can get these at a lot of different places. Like I said, I did get mine on Temu. They weren't very expensive. They were probably around $5, super cheap. But you can check around and find some with maybe a little bit bigger questions on them. But these
Right.
are just really fun. I mean, so like on this one, if you were in a coma and only one song could wake you up, what song would it be?
Oh gosh.
Mm-hmm. They're just fun,
Yeah.
If you could share one of your memories with anyone and they could experience it like you did, which memory would you share?
And who would you share it with? Who would you? Yeah, that's
Well,
cool.
no, you have to share it with your group that you're playing the game with.
Okay.
So as
that's
you remove a
fun.
blank, then you have to answer the question. And these were just fun. The gals and I, we
Yeah.
played a few weeks ago when we were out camping. And
Yeah.
it's a great way to get to know other people. And even
Right.
people you live with all the time, this was just kind of a twist on it to
We used to play that game Scruples, where it would give you like a moral dilemma, and then we had to stop because there was a lot of like, why would you do that? But anyway, I do like that. And you and I had so much fun this summer, and you brought a game that we all enjoyed so much. Let me see if I get it right. Taco cat goat cheese pizza.
Yes. Yep. It's a card game. Yeah.
Taco cat goat cheese pizza. I was still on the river. As soon as I had Wi-Fi, I ordered it. By the time I got home, it was there. And it's in my camper now. And we have been playing that all summer long. And you have to slap the cards and you have to take your rings off. You will be injured. But that game is so much fun.
Yeah. I think I might be responsible for having broken a finger in one of our dive group outings.
I know I lost a nail in the game, but yeah, so that's a fun game. Okay, I like that. I have a very practical thing to share with you now, and it's not fancy. It's not anything that people are going to go, oh, I can't wait to get that. But for me, this was a little bit of a game changer. This is not the one, but I want to talk about these little ceramic space heaters for a second. I have always used the propane heat in my camper because I have the little tiny camper, and it always bothered me that when that heater comes on in the camper, it sounds like a plane is landing. So, and the thermostat is so sensitive. So the thing comes on and you're like, oh my God, what's happening? And then you're like, oh, it's just the heater. You fall back to sleep and the thing shuts off, goes on 2 seconds later. And I don't know if it's my thermostat, but all night long, that stupid thing goes on and off and it drives me nuts. So I ended up in my little vintage camper, the previous owner left this little ceramic heater. And I started using that because I don't like the noise of the overhead. And then what happened is I moved it into the big camper. Now, in the living room, I have the fireplace which blows, so that's electric. So I'm not using my propane. It really heats up that room. You have more control over the settings than you have on the thermostat on your RV. But I like this other one to put in the bedroom because it's two zone in a fifth wheel. And so I don't want to heat up the whole rest of the camper just for me up in the front bed. So anyway, what happened is it got so chilly outside that I ended up bringing that out into my clamshell. We had the sides going on the clamshell, and there's a fire ban in New Jersey now. And I don't see any end in sight for this because it's really bad here. But anyway, I put that on a metal thing. We had it in the middle there, and we were all keeping warm with it. So I really love this idea of just an inexpensive, and that when I say inexpensive, I'm not kidding, they're $20. You're not using your propane. And in the winter, the propane, if it's really cold outside, the propane does become like a sludge. It's harder to use your propane in the winter in your camper. So anyway, if you've never gone out and bought just a little ceramic heater for your camper, you can use it outside. You could use it in your clamshell. You can use it on the countertop, and you can control it a lot better. And the campground's paying your electric. If you're on not me, I'm a seasonal site, so I pay my own electric, but mine was $13 last month, so I'm not complaining. So anyway, I have really thought, why was I so slow to the game with this ceramic little space heater? I just love it so. So if you've never thought of the other ways in which this could be beneficial, there's a couple.
That's a great idea. When we lived full time in our camper, having those little supplemental heat sources like that, especially in the bedroom at night, were game changers.
Yeah, they're so cozy.
Yeah.
And quiet.
And quiet. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so my last item, I don't know if in my thing, if it's something you want or something to need. This, I think, can kind of vary, but I know they're one of your favorites. And these are hand-dipped truffles made in Deadwood, South Dakota by my friend Chip, who owns Chubby Chipmunk. And these truffles are little works of art, and they are so good that these have made it on a regular basis into the gift bags out when they do the Academy Awards for the people attending.
You said that.
I did.
And I immediately took them upstairs, hid them in my room, and ate them all myself.
I have a few of them here.
What?
I'm gonna run in town and get them.
Look how big they are.
I know they're like a $50 size ish. I mean, they're big
so delicious.
They're so good. Tons of
so
different
good.
flavors. You know, I've got mint, and here's dark orange, and
I gotta say, they're really an artisan product. So over the weekend, we had a big girl camper camp out, and on the dessert table, somebody put a box of chocolates, and I immediately went for the truffle. And I took one bite out of it, and I'm like, I'm not going to waste calories on this. It was like bottom of the line chocolate. And I'm like, no, not, yeah, I just threw it in the garbage. And when you sent me those for Christmas, I love truffles and I love chocolate, and I hid them in my room. And when I went up and I thought I was watching a movie in bed, like that Christmas week indulgence when everything is like quiet and still and you can sit down. And I thought, oh, I remembered those chocolates, and I went and got one, and I thought I'll eat one of these. And I chose one and I ate it. And then I ate another one. And then I ate it. You had sent me 6 and I ate 3 in one sitting. They're so, so good.
they are really good. We usually like cut them into quarters. Don't eat them all
Fly
at
with
once.
me. I would not, no such thing.
But they are good. And you can order them online directly from
Wow.
Chubby Chipmunk. But if you are ever in the Black Hills, I highly encourage you to just stop in at their place up in Deadwood and check them out and get them. But they are really good. But a little 3 truffle acorn tin of them costs $22.99. So they're not inexpensive, but again,
Well,
you're supporting a really great woman-owned small business, and these are all handmade.
Well, I'm going to skip my last item. You know why? Because you and I did not share lists ahead of time, and mine was an alpaca sweater.
What?
Yes. I had cashmere, and I love to thrift for cashmere sweaters.
Really?
You're not going to find one that's a hoodie with long sleeves and comes down like that. So, but I'll tell you something. When I go camping, I am always looking. It's not even when I'm outside. I'm usually moving. You've got a vest on. You're fine. When you're sleeping at night and you're camping in cold weather, that is where you want that sweater to sleep in.
Yes.
So I had alpaca sweater, cashmere, some kind of wool, breathable thing that is going to make you toast.
Nice. Nice.
So I'll clap it out right now. I'll do this. When I was thrifting with my bestie Carol last weekend for $14.99 at the thrift store, I found a double bed size, full size down blanket with the 8 by 8 inch squares.
Oh, yeah.
Now, if you have that on your bed, because all we're talking about last weekend is cold weather camping, because we're going in January, and then you and I are probably going to go out to Quartzsite, which is lovely during the day, but it's quite chilly at night. And having this down blanket with a wool blanket on top, you're so toasty. If you don't need a space heater, you don't need anything. You're toast. You'll be so warm. So get out there and thrift for an old down blanket. I brought mine home, threw it right in the washer and dryer, and ooh, it's yummy.
We have so much down. We love down. I still have my down comforter from when I was in law school, and I graduated from law school in 1994.
Yeah, so that's
And
old.
it's still on our bed.
And I still have the one, and I'll never forget the sale at Macy's at Christmas time. The king size Ralph Lauren with the 12-inch by 12-inch squares. It was $475, and your Macy's always does these 50% off and take an additional 20 if you put it on your card. And I don't know. I got out the door with that thing for like $110, and 25 years ago, still comes out every winter.
Yeah.
An investment piece. Lisa, it was so much fun. We love to talk shop. We love to talk about gear. If anybody has suggestions, we'd like to know what you're buying. What's on your girlfriend list? What are you giving your girlfriends? Tell us, because we'll expand our own list. And, so drop us a note in the comments here and let us know what you're buying, because we're always up for new gear ideas.
Absolutely. And don't forget about the Girl Camper online store. We've got a lot of great little gift ideas in there and stocking stuffers, including this little shirt. I got this.
Oh, that's a cute one.
For only
$10
in the Girl Camper
So when
store.
I was looking for the Leatherman, because I laid it down, I found this. Let me see if I could get it in. It's the Girl Camper corkscrew, which is, Lisa, I don't know how much this is. So, but anyway, that's a cute stocking stuffer.
Those are great stocking stuffers, and we've got a couple
Yeah.
different versions of it too. So
Yeah, the little Girl Camper pocket knife, they just took it. I mean, the little one that you open mail with the 1-inch blade, they took it from me at the airport. I mean, I went that thing on 10 flights. Somebody saw it in my purse and took it. And I'm like, I thought the rule was 3 inches. And the guy said, no, any knife. So it's gone. But when I see you next, I'll get a new one. So
yeah,
thank you so much, everybody. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell, share with a friend, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook, find the Girl Camper Guide group near you, sign up for an event, subscribe to the magazine, and tell your friends all about how much fun we have around the campfire at Girl Camper.
until next week, we'll see you.
See you later, everybody.
Happy holidays.
Happy holiday.